But then where? Oh.
Oh shit. Get the thing, the slides.
Oh, so I get.
Oh, actually, it should be fine since we're not streaming. We're not sharing the screen, right?
I was just sharing
Yeah, the Zoom.
sorry, Nelson.
Nelson's like how this getting invaded.
Sorry, Nelson.
So just like Dark Souls.
Really get into something if they're not.
I love you, Nelson.
Like, I know
Oh,
probably
okay,
some people who are like, oh yeah, I'm strictly want to be like that. Maybe like.
Very sensitive.
It's like the concept. Okay, so how does this activity work? I'm assuming it's like we kind of go through each of the stages and then meet people to their devices over time.
Yeah.
This is a proper.
Honestly.
Should I share the screen?
Yeah, press OK. Move the camera.
Okay, that makes sense.
Why? It's so awesome.
I also
Try to press OK.
I don't know, like, I don't know, I just like see it. Like, I just think I'm like.
A little more.
It's gonna capture everybody but the participants.
In the middle, right? Yeah, that's good.
But it also is like very selfish focused. What makes it like very much.
Share that screen.
I've done this before. It's so slow. Should I do the screen?
Yeah, share the screen and then I go this.
But I love.
Go into slide. I don't know why I'm telling you this.
This is my first time.
It's not like you're the director.
Hide the floating meeting control.
So I don't.
How do we share the link?
The what?
How do you, or do you guys share the link for? Is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, but also if you want to share the actual thing for the Zoom, I want to share the actual Zoom link. Let me see. Where is?
Oh, I'll probably just share the YouTube.
But there's like we don't want people to pass stuff through the chat. That's why we share this.
Okay.
Writing.
Hello. There's no definition. 5 minutes.
That's interesting. There's no powers behind it. There's no debate. It's also the same that like they're so big, they move so slow. So anyone that like
I'm gonna see if it works.
It's crazy. Yeah, and that doesn't affect. So it makes you like, okay, it's definitely like there has to be some sort of. Also a bit nicer than talk about.
And I started trying.
Yeah.
And then I was walking.
Yeah.
Now we got 4 minutes.
4 minutes. This is better, dude. When I do the slides, it's like it sucks. I use default templates.
No, you have to have your own.
No, I just haven't done it. But then like my other officers just like show me up.
Oh,
they do way better slides.
They figure out how to do it.
Yeah, they figure out how to make actually good looking slides. I just do what I've been doing.
That's crazy.
We're Majima.
Spring 20.
Yeah, we're both matching, but we're Shadow Kings that like
Yeah.
that like he released that once.
iPad. I don't have an iPad. If I had one, I'd wear it.
If I had one, I'd be wearing it over my glasses.
That already happened.
It's not even like I have like I'm missing an eye. It's just I just want to be a nerd.
It's just over your glasses.
It's just over my glasses. I just can't see it. And it's not even doing a good enough job. It's just still space.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Gives you the power of having an iPad without being blind.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah, because the eye patch is like you put it on so like if you go under the deck, you could like flip it up and your
Yeah.
eyes like
It's
or use-
accustomed to the dark.
It was born in the dark.
My iPad was born in the darkness. Molded by it. Formed by it.
Like, I don't know.
I would have finally saw light. It was blinded. I blinded myself. Actually kind of hurts.
Hurt pretty bad back.
It was like looking at the eclipse, but like a little less less damage.
Just like that. Oh, yeah.
Pretty big out.
Big hour.
You want to come in earlier or later?
I need to look
through. Oh, right. Yeah. We already sent I went into later and but you need to make. Right.
If anyone at this table is not gonna do the workshop,
Oh,
if you're not gonna do the workshop, then switch with people in the back that are gonna. If they are,
are they?
who is doing the workshop in the back that is not at the front table? Or is not at this front, are you doing the workshop? You should switch with these guys.
Sorry, I'm not joking shit.
Dude, who's a lot of homework this weekend?
Yeah,
There's like 9 pages.
9 pages, what the heck?
I can only do.
I don't even know what that means.
It's over one.
Oh, shit.
Oops.
Over one. It's over one page.
Do you guys need a copy as well?
I have one school, remember that? Like, school doc?
Yeah,
Just play it during the workshop.
One school and something.
Yeah.
But that's stuff. Whatever.
Or.
What is this? Why is this?
Right, just imagine if I get my laptop in school. Might happen. You know, we actually don't edit the pods.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so there's often we start the streaming early. So there's just this huge
Oh, yeah, like
beginning thing of just like yapping before we actually get to the
10 minutes of
videos. Yeah.
Wait, give me a second, I need to grab my shit.
Except for audio. I think I might just start. We stopped everything. Yeah, so let's go.
It is weekend.
Yeah, this makes more sense.
You know who Majima is?
Who Majima?
It's just asking you right now after you've done this shit.
I haven't played Yakuza 3, which is when he did the shadow clone or like Majima's everywhere mechanic.
Oh no, that was in
Oh,
Yakuza.
that's Kiwami?
Yeah, it was Kiwami.
What was 3?
3 was he was like more of an ally.
Oh, it was Kiwami. I only played Yakuza 0.
Yeah, it's very funny. Majima was like just kind of like a side villain in Yakuza 1. And then like his popularity like really grew. So like he started getting like more and more roles. And they kind of like tapered down like near the later games.
I want to play Lost Judgment.
Oh, have you played the regular genre?
No, I don't want to play the original. I want to play the new one. It's only 2 years old. It's like new.
Yeah, but I meant like the first Judgment.
No, it's older, isn't it?
It is older. Last Judgment's the sequel.
But it has cool combat in the sequel.
It does.
It's like original combat, but like you can skateboard.
Yeah, it's like a more refined version of the Dragon of like the Dragon engine, and then like of course you can juggle. You like dance.
You can dance. You have a skateboard and you can parkour. Heat kill, but they're not heat kill.
Yeah, you can do some ollies.
Skateboard. In their story, I guess. Like
The story, I
you
guess.
like beat up high schoolers, I think.
Yeah, you do get to beat up high schoolers.
The best
It's like
side quest.
no, it's like the first time you like enter Ichincho, which is like the big area. You see a bunch of high schoolers beating up like the store owner, like this employee, and then you're like, and then you just like start picking a fight with them, and you just beat the shit out of them.
I think you can become the dance club.
That is where the dance comes from.
Oh.
Yeah. He does the Fortnite thing. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
That's side quest peak. But 235?
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun games. I think I really like the original Judgment story.
Oh,
It was very anime near the end, I believe. That's the only way I can describe it, but like I thought it was pretty cool. The Lost Judgment's like really the story is pretty good though. Like really good.
It's like
One
really
of the
good,
better
but it's like more like a drama.
It is more of a drama.
Yeah.
It is.
That's fine.
I wonder if they're gonna make a new one.
They said it wasn't. It was the last one. Oh, they said it was gonna be the last one.
Yeah, probably because of the actor.
Yeah, but also they might be like the reboot or whatever. But probably last.
Yeah, it'll probably be the last one for a while. Kuroda. Oh no, Kuroda's the. I forgot who plays
Yeah,
Yagami.
It's an hour and a half.
that's the why.
So I think that's what we should work on.
I'm honestly surprised we managed to get the Lost Judgment games on
Yeah,
PC. I think for the longest time it was like his agency, like the actor's agency, was afraid of like people modding shit and like kind of messing things up. So like that's why they didn't want to do it. But then during the summit, when they like announced like a bunch of stuff, they just like stealth released the PC. And was like, oh my god, Lost Judgment on PC. I get to beat up high schoolers with my G-Force 37.
That's the one. I thought you were supposed to, I didn't even know. No, you're chilling.
Okay.
No one else does.
you ready?
I am ready.
We need to do anything? We're already unmuted.
I don't think we were muted this entire time.
No, it's fine. They need to hear the room noise. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll fix that. I'm actually hide.
Should I put this mic in the middle?
Yeah. You can put like
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Talk about all things VGDC.
Okay, we're gonna start the writing and design collab. I said it earlier, but if you want to do the workshop, try to be close to the center. The back is normally people that are like kind of like doing things.
Doing other things.
Okay,
I try to think of that.
okay, so we're gonna start off with everyone that's gonna be interested of doing the class with a piece of paper, because like writing and shit. So,
Or you can just get a Google Doc.
or Google Doc if you're like that, but we
Just
have
prepare to write.
this is a writing workshop, so you better write during the workshop.
Yeah.
Writing gadgets and doing keys.
You want to
Yeah,
use?
that's right. Use that paper we got from Target.
Is that target?
It is Target. Look at the arrow.
Depends. If you want a Google Doc, use that. Or Excel, DocX. Okay, so I am Hunter, and this is
Brian.
also known as Majima.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys are Majima.
I'm not. I mean, yeah, I'm not Hunter. I'm Majima.
Yeah. Frick, NDA.
NDA. So we are Majima, and we're doing side quests.
Oh no, it's not on the.
There we go.
Okay. So first before we get into the activity, we're gonna go through a couple examples of games that we think have very good side quests activities and stuff. So the first game that we're gonna be showing off is Yakuza 0. In this, so some games have particular ways of naming their side quests, and this game is they're referred to as sub stories. And the main function of the side quests in this game is to kind of explore the other side of the game setting, Kamurocho. Sometimes they're with differing tones, but like mainly they're a bit wackier than the main game. For example, Passport to Pizza and the Doll Girl. They can't. These are like important aspects of the game's like setting, but they can't necessarily. But they don't necessarily fit into the main game itself, so they're delegated to the side quests. And they tend to space them out between like specific events. So like you talk, so like you like talk to this person, you like, and then like either you come back later on, or you have to do something for them first before you come back, and then so on, so on. So the game design, so the design here is that to get you to other than like the narrative side of these side quests, they give you some incentives to do them. Like pretty much every time you complete a sub story, you get either some like either an item, or you get like a bunch of money that you can use to upgrade yourself. And a few of them actually have some unique gameplay elements. For example, there is a sub story where Kiryu has to figure out what this password is. And when he goes back to the merchant in order to give the password so he can buy stuff, you have to type it in manually. And this is the only time in the entire game that this typing mechanic ever comes into play. And it makes the sub story very memorable because you're like, oh my God, I had to do this. Can't believe it. So what Yakuza 0 does very, very well with these sub stories is that they allow through these sub stories, they give more of an exploration with the main characters like personalities. So like Kiryu and like Majima, you know, they have their like main characterization throughout like the main story and all that, of course. But like with these sub stories, they can get even more like specific, like a Kiryu kind of screwing up in like Passport to Pizza. You can kind of understand that he's a well-meaning, but sometimes you know he kind of he's a little goofy sometimes. And they also provide a narrative break from the main story because the main story is like pretty drama heavy. It's it's dark, and sometimes you just want to go out and like help a girl get some dolls. There are some like weaknesses to this to the way that this game does sub stories, is that some of them are pretty long, and not only are they long, some of them are also locked behind like story progression. So because of that, you won't be able to do all of them at like once, which it's a double-edged sword because you don't want to be because this game has a lot of them. You don't want to be overwhelmed at the beginning, but at the same time, it's kind of a little tedious at times. And also, it requires a lot of programming work. Introducing gameplay elements that don't come back in the main game is a tough ask for like programmers usually. So you probably won't be able to actually do this in the game that you're gonna put your side quests in.
Okay, so another example is God of War Ragnarok. I'm actually not going to try to spoil anything except for like that little GIF where he attacks the cat. So they're referred to as favors in God of War. So you're exploring other character stories and oftentimes unlocks new areas. They give you content locked behind side quests. A lot of times these areas are a lot more difficult or a lot more kind of like more thinking in the main quest. They want to allow for more challenging areas to not be story locked. So game design incentives is equipment, new areas, XP collectibles, normal stuff, normal RPG stuff. A lot of RPGs have side quests. Some non-RPGs also have side quests. So the pros for God of War Ragnarok is character stories can progress even when you aren't playing through the main game. So if you really like this one character, go do more of their side quests. God of War has a unique mechanic where you can change who's in your party. You only get one. So you can kind of like, it switches throughout the game. So if you want to have this character with you during this quest, go do the quest. Like one of them's like hunting with this person. You should probably do it with the person. You don't have to, and actually a different dialogue if you don't do it, but it's different. It also allows you to level up without the feeling of grinding. So a very classic thing. Cons though are it's very complex, out of scope for non-AAA like us. And shorter stories feel like they waste your time. A lot of this has like a few where it's literally like do one thing and then you're done with the story. And it feels kind of like you did nothing. So that's a con for this. But yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, generally with like side quests, you probably won't be able to actually implement these in your pitch projects because you have so little time to like work on these. So generally you want to focus on getting the main game done first. And then when you're confident, and then when the team's confident that they can add some more stuff, maybe put in like 1 or 2 side quests. But generally, you should only do this if you know like how big the scope of your game is, or like in like a more heavy budget kind of game.
Yeah. There are ways to do this. If you want to go in the AAA space, do side quests on your own for your favorite games. It's still work that you can show off, and then you can do it in a job. Even if you can't do it for a main game or one of your student games, you could put something kind of small, like if you want to do a side quest where it doesn't have any new mechanics, doesn't have any of this, but it has characters that don't need faces. So it's like a story-based game, or they need like a location art. It's a lot. You can find ways to make it less taxing on your team. So we're gonna start off with the activity right away. So most of the workshop is gonna be working on this activity. So we're gonna block it out, make some objectives, and then write some dialogue. Hopefully your side quests are fire. So let's do it. But first, what kind of story do you want? We kind of went through a couple examples. Those had different types of side quests. Do you want a story-driven side quest where you're focusing on other characters, story context, you don't have time? So like if it's a world made of magic or whatever, you may have a side quest that goes into how that magic works. Multiple endings, doing a side quest that gives a different ending, possibly. Then you have variety, which is like the Yakuza curveball palette cleanser. So like just like random shit, play bowling during a war, bet on things, run like what is it, cabaret club?
Yeah,
run a candy store. Like there are like random things like that you could do to just like, it doesn't matter what the actual gameplay is. We'll work on programming, but it's a palette cleanser, so it works for longer term games. Do you want your side quest to be more an elaboration? So that's highlighting existing mechanics or testing players' knowledge instead of skill. A lot of these is more like depending on the game. So Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is all about using the time system to like go and do different quests. Every single day their routes and paths are the same throughout the 3 days. So having a side quest that makes you to know the paths and quests in order to complete them is kind of like an elaboration. Whereas challenge is make it harder. Elden Ring does this through side quests and just bosses. So if you want to beat a side boss, they're going to be probably harder than some of the main bosses, but they're going to come earlier so that you can still use the equipment you get from the bosses during the actual game. Don't have to beat them, but they're really fun to beat. So I want you guys to use the paper or your docs to just choose one. Which one do you want? This can be for your own game if you're working on one, or it can be for an existing game like God of War, Yakuza, whatever games you play. You want to make a quest for Legend of Zelda specific game, make it for it. So choose a game that you want. Could be your own game, could be a game you just made up just now, and then choose what type of game that you want to focus on. The rest of the activity will kind of go into like gameplay, like combat stuff, so that if you want to focus on that, it'll be with the activity, but will allow you to like kind of do your own thing. So spend like 3 minutes right now, just like writing down whatever you want to do and choose one of these 4. So we'll do that. If you need paper in the middle or Google Doc. Yeah. I like variety, but like it's so hard to like make a good one.
That is true, because you don't want it to be too wacky.
Yeah. Or like if it's too wacky, the player might not do it until like the very end.
Yeah.
Whereas you can put like the other three literally anywhere in the game, where variety kind of has to like survive on its own.
Yeah, the thing with like the cabaret club and like the real estate mini games in Yakuza 0
Yeah,
is that they're not just like variety, they have a very big incentive to do that because they're like the main money makers in the game. So there's like a huge incentive to like go out and go out of your way to do them, even if they're like a little tedious.
that's good.
Little mushroom. Yeah, good game. This is a side quest. I'm focusing on story driven.
Yeah, a lot of the variety, there's like a reason, like the bowling mechanic in Breath of the Wild is like the best way to get money, besides like exploits. It's like getting the bowling and getting a strike gives you like $1,000 in a game where $1,000 can buy you like anything.
All right.
Can you think of any more examples for elaboration? Like I think a lot of like the last ones use it, or like if you know the mechanic that like going through the goo will end you up there, you can like use it to like go find a new thing, a new character. Probably that would be.
Category agreement. When it gets to the final ingredient.
I think story driven and challenge are the easiest to like do for this workshop.
Yeah, because they're more straightforward.
Yeah, like.
Very straightforward, and
Story, right?
you don't need a lot to do them.
That is the.
Right. You just kind of need to figure out how to hook up, which we will cover.
Whatever the emotional. I want this to be a story about romance.
Romantic.
Mushroom, tragedy, tragedies. So Zubair gonna give himself two hands.
I wrote tragedy.
Yo, I used that background. Oh, I have that background.
What background?
It's from Made in Abyss.
Oh.
Fifth floor.
Can I see?
Yeah. It's the pools.
Oh. Look at
I
that.
don't have the animated version. Think of the games.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like cake adventure game.
There you go.
Hey,
Big Adventure.
hey, we should check to see if anyone's. Well, fuck.
There's two people on.
I was just thinking.
What are these? Fuck. Fuck.
They did that. He's quick on.
No, that's.
No, I just wanted to see the chat.
Yeah, if you, I think it.
They're,
I can't remember if it's F10 or.
toxic, so they're a poison.
Yakuza is a go to series.
Oh, it's you.
No, it's not me. That's not
Oh,
how you
really?
spell my name.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, yeah, we're Brian. Can't.
Your personality is predetermined.
Yeah.
Why am I Brian?
What's your name?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hide this again?
Yeah, we can keep it up for now. It's not actually as bad as I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
I thought he would like go down here.
Yeah, I think I ruined more trying to get back
Oh.
in the chat.
Oh, no. That's fine. Let me see the chat.
And.
We have 5 seconds for you to choose a game / type.
Done.
Then we'll go into the next part.
Oh, we've been building up.
Basically just choose one side story.
Quest, that's good.
Oh, it's choose a type. Oh,
It's
Choose a
really
type.
just choose a type.
I thought you were asking us to write the whole thing.
No,
No, we're building this in
that
steps.
works. That works. We're gonna help you build it if you literally have no idea how to do this.
Okay, I'm doing
Okay,
it
so
right.
there, this is the poison.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next step. If you guys want to continue working on your little quest line over there, we can do it. But we're gonna go into the next step, which is plotting out your stories, and that is story pacing and flow.
All right. So, you're gonna be okay. So for these side quests,
All right.
while considering the type of subquest that you are doing, keep in mind that side story narrative usually use the same kind of skills as short stories. So they both require you to be able to use some kind of yeah. Sorry. But yeah, generally because they are like shorter, there are shorter side quests. The side quests are gonna be shorter than the main game. You probably don't want your side quests to be longer than the actual game. You need to be able to be efficient with like what you are doing with the story. So you can kind of So that next step here, you can kind of use narrative shortcuts to kind of establish kind of things. They don't need to be. They don't need the things you use don't need to be deep, because generally people are going to accept that side quests aren't going to be as complex as like the main story of your game. So you can kind of use. So you kind of use some tropes and stuff to kind of quickly set up like what kind of like quest this might be. Uh, so take if you can take advantage of them. Here's an example of like a story that you could like plot out using. Generally, you will want to still have a story, so you have like a build up and then like a payoff. So, for example, here's a example like a build up. Talk to this X person who wants you to do this thing because of a reason that they provide. And then keep in mind to have some major plot points. Like the introduction, what's going to be happening in the middle, and how's it gonna end. I wanted to say something. Shoot. I can't remember.
So this is like how the general story's gonna go. This isn't like the actual content, or it can be the content, but it's more about I want to start this way. I want the kind of content in the middle to do this, and I want it to end like this. It's not the second to second gameplay. It's not like what gameplay is happening. It's just kind of like the general path that the thing's gonna take. It might be like you're gonna get a car from this guy, but he wants you to do this thing and this thing and then this thing, and at the end you find out he gave you this car for X reason. It's not like this isn't the most in-depth section. This is just kind of giving you a little pacing and flow of the beats of the story.
Yeah, and then you can use those beats to kind of help you build out later. Because in the end, writing stuff down and then kind of like changing it a little bit, and then like going off of that is a lot easier than just trying to do everything all at once.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, why would you?
Exactly, because it makes sense.
Yeah, it goes like that. I know there's a tip from like the Disney people that it's like right the beginning, then the end, then the middle. Because like the end is the hard part or something like that. Well, I don't know. But it's a general good tip. But for these side quests, they might be short enough where you just kind of do like 5 bullet points of what you want to happen, and that'll be good. So spend 5 minutes to write at least 5 bullet points on how you want it to generally go. It can be a 10-minute side quest. It can be an hour side quest. If with this workshop, I would suggest making it a lot shorter so it's easier to make content for it. That will go into the next step. So yeah, spend 5 minutes to think out story beats for your quest line. If it's for a silly quest, you should probably have like why the silly thing is happening, how the silly thing is gonna like surprise the player. If it's challenge, how is this challenge shown in a way that's not gonna make your final boss look like a cakewalk? If it's elaboration, show like why you choose this quest to like test the player's knowledge instead of like some other side quests. If it's a story quest, draw them in with the story of the world about mushrooms, make mushrooms appear in the story as things.
Yeah, they're kind of like, and then like kind of think about like how that could be used to elaborate, do like world building.
Yeah. Look, it's Emperor the Groove.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I thought it was go to settings to activate window. It's like right under.
I don't know why that's always there.
I think. Yeah, I think we just bypassed it, and then we didn't have like a license. I think we can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can still use it. It's just annoying. Very silly.
So
I'm not praying for an OS that requires that nags me every single time. You know, yesterday my first battery died.
Really?
Yeah, it like It just like failed to start, so I had to like, but I like bought this battery with like jumper cables, so I just like put that in. It worked. So I think I just haven't been driving a lot recently.
Yeah, like it died.
Yeah.
Corroded.
Well, I think if it corroded, it probably won't have.
You're right.
It's just
Isn't there like a thing where like corrodes a little bit while you're not using it? That's totally wrong.
and it just kind of loses charge because it charges while you're driving. So if you're not driving and it sits, I can like get to a point where it just doesn't have enough charge to like start the car up again. That actually happened to me once before. I drove a car over to my current house, and it was like 3 months before I actually drove it. And the first time I tried driving it, it failed to start because the battery just like got drained. Yeah, so about 30 minutes after jumping is good enough, probably.
Like driving around.
Yeah, driving around because that's how it
Two sides of like.
So another thing, like if your game that you're working on has like a morality system, this all the question use morality system. This is another example that you can listen to if you're stuck. Is Fable 1 and 2, every quest has to be tagged as good or bad. And depending on like if you do it, it like boosts your karma. If you do like enough evil quests, you grow literal devil horns. So like if your quest has some like funny things to it, you probably have those funny things in there. A lot of it doesn't work until like you have a game kind of fleshed out. So that's why it's easier if you're doing like Persona or Yakuza or whatever that already has like the systems in place. But if you're doing like a narrative game of your own.
Yeah, you do consider those mechanics.
Yeah, you think, yeah, consider the mechanics.
The big three.
The big three.
Yeah, the big fat Mario, Sonic, and Timmy. So much.
You don't know who?
You don't know Timmy?
Like Timmy Turner.
You don't know Timmy? Yeah, you will know Timmy.
You will know Timmy.
You will know Timmy. That sounds like a threat. Just like I'm just like later today, I was like on my computer, and then Adrian just breaks into my house.
It's like
You will know Timmy. Do you know Timmy? I don't
Timmy with an I and Jimmy with an I.
Because that's their spelling.
Jimmy.
One guy. I hate Bart, like already.
That's the point, that's the point.
Annoys me.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Mark is down bad.
down bad.
That's why put all the emojis. It's not referring to like them, like getting, it's not getting.
Yeah. It's because Bart is a word.
I can't believe Hunter hates the San Francisco metro system.
What?
Don't you know the train system in like San Francisco or something? It's like the BART, right?
It is the bar. I hate the bar. It goes
Oh my.
as you're going down. Every turn you take, it screeches a little more.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
I do for any Pokemon,
What?
like a advanced train.
Train when you want.
Go steal.
Have rich Pokemon in a building.
Okay, but he's stupid.
No. That train Pokemon should be a philosopher. So it could be a train of thought.
I love still fighting.
Oh, baby.
I'll defend Geraldo, but like.
I hate y'all.
Our Chalodon.
He turns into a second tower.
He's a double pseudo.
All right.
Okay, so hopefully you plotted out a few like little bit of story beats, couple at least like 3 to 5 like bullet points. If you have more, good. If you have less, hopefully they're really detailed. So now that you know kind of the story, we're gonna go into the next, which is the game design part. So this means gameplay pacing / flows. This is you, the player, actually doing these things. So design a good side quest. Why is it all about pacing? So it's about making sure your story beats are matching up with your gameplay beats. Trying try to give it some variety and make it culminate in something satisfying for the player. So if it's a story focused thing, it should probably end with a story focused thing. It starts with combat, it should end with combat, that kind of thing. Some examples is like just literally talk to this quest giver, go to this area, find this, which leads you to this. This is just kind of going into your story beats, kind of going in what the player is doing between those story bits. If it's a game you already know, like Yakuza, you know that between some of the story bits, you're gonna have to fight. You don't have to say what the fight is. You can say who it's against, what type of enemies, maybe. But honestly, it's just kind of like filling in the gaps between the things. So find person Y, fight them, talk to the quest giver again. That's kind of like the general thing. So this is filling in the space in between your story paths. So if any questions, ask me. You have 7 minutes to do this. This is kind of filling in, take a little bit longer.
I think my feeling that.
Yakuza really likes to have everybody like have a fight at least once or twice.
It makes sense. Like it's a fighting game.
It is a fighting game.
Like it has really good story, but like it's more fighting game.
It has to fight.
I shown you someone.
So it's still really cool, like the balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
Did I show you the birds? What do you have?
The mushroom? Yeah.
We'll see.
I do like that game. There's also the game that I get confused. It looks similar.
My
Like,
parents are looking.
Type something.
I was having like the phone game.
Oh, them's finding her,
Yeah.
which got taken
Sister lived there. yeah.
their self-development
Oh,
indefinitely.
Good.
Yeah, that was a good game.
But also like water.
Oh, you get it.
You have something
Oh, absolutely. That's a big problem.
You're running out of time, Leon.
You're right.
You need to
I
find
would have done that
someone.
on the Tinder. You will die alone.
Yeah, I don't think- like,
Oh, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
That's a right. That's a right joke.
I don't like chestnut.
I'm gonna go
Now phalanx is sick.
Probably a pain to program.
Phalanx.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Ryan.
The next character is a dev pick, so we don't know what it is.
Oh, the dev.
I,
So far, pretty good.
this isn't a dev pick, but the next Pokemon is a dev pick. We revealed 2 characters.
Was this like a new official game or
No, ban. It's only fighting types.
Yeah.
And a
That
fighting.
can, that can learn close combat.
Oh, only they can learn close combat.
Oh my god.
Like,
Who's the Shoto in this
It's
game?
via TM too though, so it's
Oh my god.
it includes TM, so
Okay.
yeah, and the list is long.
Is it close combat?
Oh, you wanna know something funny?
What?
So so I played a bit of Monster Hunter with like Steve, right?
Mm.
And with 2 other people, we like played through the entire game, like baseline game.
Oh shit, yeah.
We got into Iceborne. I play Insectglaive. And it was only at the beginning of Iceborne that I realized I could nurture my kids.
You never realized that?
I never upgraded my kids.
That's kind of funny.
And then I never upgraded my charms either.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at fighting types,
Let's do this.
it's just most of the fighting types.
Oh, I want Surfetch. Is he there?
No. So this Medichan was created as a character for like people to pick up the game. Like a really easy, like.
That makes sense.
they're excited. Look at this, the audio.
Scrafty's also good.
Scrafty is in the game.
I thought, yeah.
He was hold on, the trailer is really
I really
fun.
want Hitmon.
I want him on top.
Yeah,
too.
Hitmon Top seems sick.
He's like, hey little man, do you want to ride?
Exactly.
That's Scrafty can drive.
Loiter menacingly.
All the main characters.
I understand the primate
Yeah,
pick,
Shadow.
but like, I don't.
Like really.
Oh,
So Wobbuffet is your training dog, it's a sandwich.
okay. I was like, he can't let me still. Okay.
Basically, just like.
What if they can tell?
Why is the Star Wars character?
What?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. I wonder why they thought of that name.
The, or,
I think it's Boba Fett, right?
I think it's Boba Fett. So close. They have to have aliens.
not a fighting type though.
I thought it. Oh, I thought it only had a bar. I mean, yeah, if Lucario and Galena in there, I want Passimian because I love him.
Yeah, but I mean, they already have like polyrapid to like their item there.
I really
Or like, you got our happy too.
Can they have
Primal Dawn fan. Primal Dawn.
I did see Found Family.
The Dawn fan, oh, they tried to, it's like a phenomenon.
Call me in.
No, it's a joke. Why are you
Call me Dolls.
But you still have the same one, but having the effect of someone who can give it up.
So cool.
He is really, the animation's really sick.
So you charge.
Yeah.
I need to, oh, just like someone who's out there. Yeah, an anti-hero. People love it. They do. Anti-heroes are like. Okay, I could read that.
Like if you get the hold of you, it's kind of over.
Why did it play the Sonic noise?
People like morally great characters.
That's so true.
That's why I like characters.
She's a polygraph true.
Come on, more. Oh no. The Rome Storm.
Pheromones cockroach.
Cockroaches. What do you think of cockroaches?
Silly.
But that's like another morally great situation.
Projectile. He's like your grappler.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully you guys did some of the gameplay, little inner bits. So now, this is basically like the general quest layout. You have story points and content. So now we're going to go into starting dialogue.
Oh yeah, so the meat and potatoes, I suppose.
Yeah.
So writing dialogue. So generally, when you introduce your side quest to the player, you want them to be excited, or you want them to start the side quest as soon as they can. So there's I have a few tips for that. So when you are writing the dialogue, consider the tone of the quest you are doing, what type of quest you are doing, what type of quest you are writing for, how the rest of the dialogue is written in the game, and the characterization of the people involved. So like I said before, a lot of the sub-stories in Yakuza 0, they draw off of the characterizations of player characters Kiryu and Majima, and they also bring out, and using that they let them interact with new characters that sometimes are a bit odd, but they don't generally stray too far. Obviously Kiryu and Majima don't suddenly start talking like different people. And even if your new character, even if the characters in the side quests have a different personality, you generally don't want to have all your new characters talk differently in the side quests that they do in the main quest. So keep that in mind as you write the dialogue for this game. This is a bit less out of the dialogue thing, but when you are introducing the quest, you generally want to add a sense of urgency while you're to them introducing it. So for example, let's say the general RPG quest, right? Killing 10 things, right? So let's say you have a side story where you walk up where the player walks up to a farmer and they want you to kill 10 rats. They want you to kill a bunch of rats, basically. There is so you can either have the farmer say, "Oh, these rats have been eating my food. This is really annoying. I want you to go kill 10 of them." Generally, you're just like, okay, I guess if I have enough time. But if you have the farmer instead say, "Please, for the love of God, can you like help me kill these rats? They've been eating my food for like 3 fucking months. If they eat more of my food, I'm gonna fucking starve, man. I don't want these fucking rats." Like if you go into it that way, then it'll like add a sense of like urgency to the player. It'll make them go more like, "Oh shit, this guy's pretty fucking serious. I want to go help him." And then you don't necessarily need to use dialogue for this, but you also want to help explain to the player. You want to with dialogue and like everything else. You want to explain to the player why they have to do it and why the other players or the other characters haven't done it before. So I think good examples of stuff of like quests that have done this are like Fallout New Vegas's come fly with me and Yakuza Zero's Passport to Pizza, which I did mention before. So with Passport to Pizza, you don't get in when you get introduced to the quest giver isn't standing or it isn't just like, "Oh, I want you to do this for me." She is like crouched down on the ground. She's like begging somebody to like help her because she just got beaten up. So immediately the player's like, "Holy shit, what actually just like happened?" And then like you like give her an item to like help her up and stuff. And then through as the story progresses, you kind of get an understanding of like why things are turning out the way they are. Like this is also because of the good localization too. Like you kind of understand how things are turning out the way they are. Like I won't spoil the story, but like it is, but like it's really funny once you like start understanding like why. And then with come fly with me, there's a lot of incentive to do it because Manny who gives the quest is offering like actual help and like helping you track down like the guy that like shot you in the head. So there's a lot of incentive to do it, but you also understand why he can't just go out because the gist of it is they want you to go out into like this factory and like kill the ghouls though. The player kind of understands why he can't do it because the town that he's a part of, their best defense are 2 snipers and a dinosaur tower. And if one of them just goes and leaves, that's obviously really bad for the town, right? So it's very obvious why this guy can't just go out and like just murder a bunch of people. And then like you go down and then you kind of start and then you also like understand why things are turning out the way they are and like how things ended up. So you really want to explain to the player why they have to be the ones doing it. Because if they have the sense that the other guys could have done this, they're gonna be less enthusiastic about this story. So keep that in mind. I do have another slide here. So for good dialogue, there is the USI triangle, not UCI triangle. Although we could actually do it if we change short with concise. So there are the 3 tenets of the USI triangle. You want dialogue to be as short as it can. People want to get to the gameplay, and also if your game has voice acting for everything, including the side quests, voice acting is pretty expensive, so you don't want to waste too much time on like making super flowery dialogue that's hard to understand. But you also want it to be interesting. You want your dialogue to reveal insight about the story, the characters, and the setting. You want it to add a little bit of flavor. You don't want your dialogue to just be like, "Kill 10 rats." Because it is short, it's to the point, but also that's super boring. Which is why you need it to be interesting. So like instead of like kill 10 rats, like, go and like shoot these 10 little critters, you know what I mean? It's concise enough, but it's also pretty interesting. But third, and probably the most important, you want it to be useful. Tell the player what they need to do and make sure that you are not wasting their time. This kind of goes along with short. Dialogue being short and interesting does not matter if you are wasting the player's time with shit that they do not need to know. Oh, so if you have like 10 minutes of dialogue and it doesn't actually help the player understand anything or tell them what to do, it's gonna feel like a huge waste of time, and the player's just gonna go like, I'm not gonna do this shit. So make sure. So keep these 3 tenets in mind. You want to aim for like the middle.
Yeah.
Now go.
So spend a few minutes just writing like 1 or 2 dialogues to get the player to actually play your game. So there should be dialogue on your sheet by the end of this. Some actual writing. Don't be like whatever Final Fantasy game that had like a 20-hour tutorial.
What?
Which one is it? FF. I want to say like 10.
Oh,
One of like the higher number ones has like a 20-hour tutorial.
It might be.
Damn, I thought the
13.
I think it might be.
Which one's 13 story?
13's the trilogy.
It might be 13.
Because 13's like a trilogy. It's like there's 13, part 1, part 2, and part 3.
It probably is.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's 20 hours of tutorial and you like finally get into the main game. And people do like the main game.
I think 13's like the most. I haven't played it. I just know it's like the one that out of the main like games. I think Final Fantasy 13's the one that more like the biggest fan of.
Okay.
So that's why I'm guessing it might be the one with the 20 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think 10 has the, because I played 10. I don't think 10 has the.
I always forget which one's
10,
which.
10 is the one. Man, I'm forgetting the name.
Is 10 on like
10 is the one with the laugh. Do you know I'm talking about the.
Oh, like the really long laugh?
Yeah.
He's like going insane.
It's been a while.
ha 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 like that.
No, it actually is.
Yeah, I think it is from Final Fantasy 10.
It's 10.
Yeah, it is 10. Yes.
It's the one with the sport where they're playing like it's like it's not blitzball. It's like
I don't know. I haven't played the Final Fantasy.
What's the sport called? I forget.
I only know clips. Man.
Blitzball, yeah.
And sometimes
It is FF13.
It's 13?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was guessing.
Until you can select your party leader, it takes 20 hours.
I remember in previous workshop
Can we break the dice?
we talked about catchphrases,
Game night.
and then we talked about Kingdom Hearts.
Don't
Yes.
mention that name to me.
I just found out there's a girl Sora.
There's somebody mentioned the Door of Darkness.
You're Sora. Are there any other Soras I should know about?
You're a nobody Sora. You're a stupid Sora. You're a silly Sora.
Nobody Sora, past Sora, reincarnated Sora, not to mention.
Sora 2?
Demented Sora.
Donald Duck Sora?
Noctis.
Lame.
Totally.
What's the
just
line with the
Noc-
lamers?
Just Noctis.
I haven't
with
played
a
it.
skin on.
Hold on. Hold on. I love that lamers line.
Where is he? What is he? Who is Pandora? I don't know.
I only played Kingdom Hearts 1 when I was like 8.
That was undeniable proof that we totally owned you lamers. Man, that's nuts. That's nuts.
It's not.
I haven't played a single Final Fantasy game. I'm fake.
Oh, play 7.
I know. I just watched a video on 7.
Play the remake. The remake's so good.
But 7 looks ugly.
No, it's
No, it's not.
It's good.
Oh wait. 7 with Cloud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that
The
one.
best Final Fantasy.
Which one?
I wouldn't say that. I think 6 is.
Which one is the one with the chef?
The chef.
Like the guy the blue mage, big tongue guy. Soft girl. I don't know.
What are we talking about?
BB?
No, that's the black man. Oh, it is one with Vivi.
Is it, wait.
It's one of VV, the black mage.
Wait, what game are we talking about?
One of the Final Fantasies. I don't know which one. It's VV, the black mage, but it also has like the blue mage, which is like the guy who eats a lot.
There's so many, because there's so many games, so I always get the moment.
It's like quinoa. It sounds like quinoa.
Is it 9?
Hold on.
I just tried to see the characters.
Final Fantasy.
Oh, it is 9, I think.
Is it 9?
Yeah,
Yes, it is 9.
yeah.
9 is my. 9 is my
I never played
favorite.
9.
I just watched video on 9 and they said it's like the best paced one.
Everyone has a different opinion.
Oh, really?
Because it's like,
Oh,
because Final Fantasy, like they kind of revamped the system for each game.
yeah.
Antagonist is one of my favorites.
I haven't played 9. I played 10. I played 11. I played 7.
I should play 7. But then isn't there like 7 Rebirth, Reload, Remaster?
Okay,
I
no,
love
play,
Kuja.
just play the remakes. Play the Final Fantasy 7 remakes. They're great.
It's I heard Nomura got his little got his grimy hands on the second part.
I haven't started the second part.
I heard the second part, like all the reviews I saw was like, story was great, except for the very end, and I was like.
I'm just waiting for a PC port because that's what I.
Nomura.
Wait, what game? For what game?
FF7 remake.
Oh,
Remaster, reborn.
Nomura, you sneaky goose, you got your.
but is this from
right?
Rebirth?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh,
Okay.
And then
I guess they want to make it a trilogy.
can we talk about Ever Crisis where young Sephiroth just looks like Riku from Kingdom Hearts? No one.
No, we don't talk about it.
I
Okay,
can't believe Riku.
So, hopefully you have story beats, gameplay beats, and a little bit of dialogue. Now add that twist, those goodies. The end of the story where it either all makes you feel really good and happy that you did the side quest, or maybe you're in a game where literally doing the side quest hurts the game. I don't know. But every good quest needs a twist, a finale, or a good player can take out of the experience. This could be like an equipable or an item that you get for doing it. This could be the boss fight that's super hard at the end. It can be meeting characters that you want. Just add a little goodie at the end. What are they going to get out of it? If it's in the actual story, just say that. Just be like, the player will get the experience of the story. But generally, you should have a in-game incentive to do the story. If that's just XP and money, that's fine. But generally, adding with no, because there's no scope for this, so sorry, producers. You can basically add whatever you want, so why not add like a little boost? Yeah. So
Yeah, and the twist doesn't need to come near the end.
that's true.
It can, like, with Come Fly With Me, it comes relatively like early or like middle-ish,
Middle,
the
yeah.
twist. And then with Passport to Pizza, it's like near the end.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on what you want to do with the story and like what it requires. You don't need, but like most importantly, you just need a good finale to like finish things off. You want to
Good note.
make the player feel good about doing it or you want them to be satisfied a little bit. How many times they gonna tell me that my info's been spotted in the data breach? God damn it. Well, like every time I try logging in too, they like just fucking kick me off.
Okay, so sadly you don't have enough time to finish those goodies, but we're gonna quickly go around and like share share like one thing that you like about your quest line. So we'll start clockwise and we'll start with Cole. Good luck, Cole.
Okay, so here's my question. It's gonna be for Persona 5.
Okay.
The whole idea is that Ryuji, he wants to go to Anime Expo, in LA. Alright, he wants to get like a signature from the trash case boys.
Okay.
Like aren't doing. Right, so you start off, you Ryuji can take 2 other people of your choice and thieves. And then the first pass of the quest is a driving simulator where you're stuck in LA traffic. And you have to obey all the traffic laws, you can't get into an accident. You also need to get there within a time frame. And then it's also be 1-to-1 recreation of LA highways.
1-to-1.
Alright, and the second half of the game, basically, it's gonna start off you being on KX, it's like an IRL map. It's a bunch of like shops, you can kind of walk around and buy a bunch of expensive items.
Yeah.
And some of these items be like posters and stuff that you can like use to decorate Joker's room and stuff that I feel like is kind of missing in the original. So yeah.
Independence.
You can also get like new outfits for all the Phantom Thieves, so you like dress them up like when they go to houses. And then you can have like mini dinosaurs, right? So the whole story goes in is like the lines for like to get the signatures are like way too long. So instead of waiting in line, you just go into each of their minds. You get their confirmation, just get a signature for someone else. So it could be like 3 mini dinosaurs.
You're gonna open up a
And it's like basically like a third of each item. It's like 3 mini dinosaurs. Third, so it's like one whole like basic. And it's gonna be like an increased challenge, but like you get a bunch of like exclusive stuff. And yeah, and after that's done, basically there's gonna be like some like dialogue stuff. You're gonna go back to
Go back to the game.
because you know, LA, right?
Okay, nice. Wes,
You got, just get me at it.
are you at all one or is it only Noel?
Charlie has one. I also didn't finish, but I can.
Just like, yeah, it's like one thing you like about it.
So the main premise is, kind of like a cyberpunk world. World ravaged by rogue AI from the corporation, and there's like certain factions. And these factions have like different culture, currency, technology, depending on their stance on AI. And you play as like a young main character who ran away from their parents. And the side quest is that you have to find just an old man's lost watch that belonged to his son, who passed away like long ago. And at this point in the story, the main character is after a wit's end and wants to do something good for once. You have this kind of go, so it's kind of like this. Yeah, both parties kind of gain some.
Noel, would you like to share your?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, because I have to know about Timmy.
This is true.
Alright. So, the main story, or I guess what should be the lore, is, there's these little creatures called the mushies. And they're pronounced that way because it's like Among Us, right? The mushies, right? They're, the whole point of like this lore is that they're able to change, or they have strict personalities they're only born with. But it's like the emotion. But, the main character, Timmy, right? He's trying to change them. He's trying to be a trailblazer, right? Fortunately, Timmy has all the time in the world because when a mushies die, they just simply regrow from their spores. And because of that, this game is more about discovering love, true love even. So it's a mix of a self-identity story and a romance story.
Ooh.
And how this ties into the side quest is you are gathering ingredients for a soup for this little worm fella named Bren. Turns out though, you are being cooked as part of the main dish.
Oh my God.
I mean, you are getting cooked this nice soup because he wants to invite you over for a romantic dinner, right? And the dialogue goes as follows. So Bart goes, "Hey, can you help me collect some stuff for me? I can't get to the grocery store right now." And the player has the option between choosing yes and no. Yes just says, okay, sure. No, it just says, hello, cream, and the quest.
Failed quest.
And then if you do say yes, Bart continues by saying, oh, sweet. Here's my list, by the way. Don't take too long, wink.
Whoa, he's really coming on
The
strong.
list provides you all the ingredients as well as a approximate location in certain areas, because this is the next Mario Odyssey, so you have different open zones to explore, right? Oregano, red Sprite, hearty dirt steak, those are ingredients for the soup. Timmy also has even more options to say afterwards, so he says, let's go, if you accept the side quest again. Or you can also say, excuse me, and that denies side quest, and what he says is, why'd you say wink out loud? That's the end of the quest.
Beautiful.
And then some of the open zone set pieces for the side quest in particular involve a pine forest, Bart's house, which is a rock, and the human mouth. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh wait, I forgot to mention, The main gameplay is like Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening or Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. The gameplay for the side quest though is like Angry Birds.
Okay, different gameplay.
Different games.
What you got?
Alright, I didn't finish it,
That's fine.
but so basically, I call it Cake Venture. And you're playing as like a 3D open world game filled in a land of desserts and pastries and like everything.
Okay.
Filled with dessert people. And you play as a little small cake, no flavor.
No.
And you're just adventuring around this cake land, sort of like a Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild.
Is this a gaming made up or like a actual game?
It's just made up. So my side quest, the player enters a gingerbread house,
Okay.
and there lives Elder Souffle, and he's an old pastry who is famous for being a well-known adventurer.
Okay.
But when the player first talks to Elder Souffle, he asks that, he hasn't had many visitors, and he was wondering, since the player's there, if you could get him ingredients to make this wonderful like dish that no one knows about, very ancient. And he wants it to be his last dying wish. Because he has a candle that's starting to fade away.
No.
And so if the player agrees, then you have to go on like this huge quest around the cake land, collecting sugar from sugar flies, eggs from chocolate chickens, blood jam from strawberry dragon, and a coat of whipped cream from whipped cream lion.
Big.
And so after the player gets all these ingredients, the Elder Souffle creates this beautiful cake. I didn't get a chance to try it, like you just imagine it. And so once he bakes it, he ends up giving it to you. And this cake is like ultimate healing. It has a bunch of like side effects that will help the player. And seeing as what is it? You accept the cake, and in return, he gives you this armor that he used to wear when he was an adventurer. And so once he gives it to you, his candle starts fading away. And so he's saying, "Thank you for bringing me the ingredients." And so once you leave the house, and if you return back, he's no longer there.
Oh no. Dead.
Question. Oh,
Yeah, you have a question.
no. If there's Elder Souffle, is there Indiana Scone?
There's like any kind of
Indiana Skull.
Yeah, Indiana Scone.
I guess he could be an adventurer too.
He's
He
exploring.
has licorice whip.
Oh my god.
A liquor whip.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to, you can definitely put in your side quests into the writing workshop, or writing
Channel.
channel. If you don't want to, whatever. But thank you so much for making a side quest with us. Hopefully it was fun and at least a little bit informative. If you still want more resources, there are 3 links that will be shared afterwards. It's basically like general tips like what we showed you, some more high production value, what we just said. They're pretty good. One of them is like a link to a course, but you don't want to buy the course because it costs too much money. But you can just read like the tips at the top. So yeah, thank you for making side quests with us. Yeah. And
How many people attended?
fun. How many?
Yeah.
It was like 8-ish that were participating at one. It's like 20 if you count the whole room.
Yeah, but I feels like it's kind of cheap.
There's also a programming workshop in 25 minutes about optimization.
What?
But yeah.
So you want to optimize your code instead of your side quest.
Upload your code. How do you stop the?
Oh, fuck. So we just stop the share and then we end the workshop. Oh my God, so